Hello everyone, Matt here with day 6 of What Did You Read Yesterday, aka the September Experiment, aka this thing I subjected myself to. I promised you yesterday that I would read Juni Taisen Zodiac Wars, and so that's what I did. This is a manga by Akira Atasuki, and it's based on a light novel by Nisioisin. This is a book that I had absolutely no expectations for. As I mentioned yesterday, I picked this up for about £1 off Vinted. Essentially what ended up happening was there were a load of books I wanted and they were all like £1 or like 10 krona or whatever it was, converted to crowns. And I was like, well, you know, I'll keep adding them until the postage goes up and let's see what happens. And so I scored a load of volume ones. And as I mentioned, I tend to collect them because I have a podcast where I talk about volume ones called Manga Attack, if you haven't listened. But the premise of this book was something I just, honestly, I didn't even really check. I just clicked and grabbed everything. And why I tend to grab a load of volume ones is sometimes you get one and you're like, oh, actually, that's kind of neat. And I'm happy to say that with no expectations, Juni Taisen ended up being one that was kind of neat. I saw afterwards that there is not only a light novel, but there was also an anime series that seems to have been quite well regarded at the time when it came out. And so I was like, okay, this might be something. It kind of was. Even though it is super brain dead, even though there's really not a lot going on, I think it's a Jump Plus title. And so usually they tend to land with me for whatever reason. And I ended up actually reading all 4 volumes of this yesterday. I bought the rest of them digitally. So that can kind of tell you that this book is alright. It's kind of got that dumb record of Ragnarok, like, hey, we're just going to do some fights for the sake of things going on. And the plot of it is essentially, they've got all of these different fighters together. They are going to compete in this 12-person battle royale based on the Zodiacs. They all have kind of powers related to, you know, snake, dragon, horse, whatever their zodiac creature is, there is something related to that in what they do. And so they all get sent into this big battle royale, and it does one of my favourite things that, I'm sorry I'm going to spoil this almost 10-year-old manga for you guys, because it introduces the Boar, as she is called, this strong female character, and she's got 2 giant machine guns, and you know, you're like, oh well, this is the main character, we're getting all of her backstory, we're going to find out why she is involved in this. And you know, as soon as she goes into this big meeting room that everyone is in, you learn that things aren't what they really seem. She enters and they are forced by the people who are kind of examiners, I guess, for lack of a better term, within this world, to eat a poison pill or a poison gem that doesn't really feel like it would actually go down. And also that this rabbit character, the rabbit Zodiac, has already killed Snake.
Snake, answer me! Snake!
One of the people participating in the contest. You're like, what the heck is going on here? And, you know, they get down onto the street. There's this big moment where Monkey, one of the Zodiac warriors, is trying to get everyone to kind of chip in, because essentially the examiner tells them when they get given all of these things, these poison diamonds, hey, if, you know, you win this thing, we'll grant you a wish. And so the monkey says, we'll all die together, and then I'll revive you all. That'll be my wish, and it'll be the end of the Zodiac games. And before she can actually do that, there's a huge explosion. Everything's kind of thrown into disarray. All the people who were actually the strongest ones going like, well, I don't really want to fight if I don't have to, are then scattered to the wind. And so you follow Boar, and you're like, okay, well, she's going to be the main character. She's going to win. And I think maybe 100 pages into the book, she is killed, because you learn that Usagi, the rabbit, the creepy guy who killed someone, is actually a necromancer. And so he's revived this dead corpse of Snake. And you learn that he can revive the corpses, which kind of puts this whole threat into the battle royale of essentially the more people he kills, obviously, the stronger he'll get. And so other characters start to team up in the same way that they do within battle royales. You get Dog and Chicken Yes, there is a chicken zodiac, obviously, and it ends up being, they have these calls that they say, I am the ox, I kill without mercy, or I just kill because, or whatever it is. And this is like, I kill with pecs, which is very funny. But she does have loads of birds, so I guess it checks out. And yeah, by the end of this book, there are already 3 people dead. And you're like, well, this is moving at a pace, isn't it? You know, there's cool zombies. You see Bo revived and using a machine guns in a way she didn't actually get to do when she was alive. And yeah, it goes full on, and you know, you're introduced to other characters like the rat, and they start to all have a game of subterfuge going on. It is surprisingly just a brain dead, like, palate cleanser series. And after, I think, reading something like I Am a Hero, and I'm currently reading Beastars, and I've been editing podcasts on books that, you know, really deal with deeper issues, and there's deeper themes and deeper meanings. Just having a book that is as shonen as it can possibly be, is admittedly a little bit male-gazy, but is generally just going like, right, cool, we're just going to show cool fights. All it's going to be is cool fights. People are going to get murdered in interesting ways. You're going to get a buff rabbit man in a pair of underwear fighting a boar lady. It just goes off, and you're just like, okay, actually, you know what? Every now and again, you just need something dumb and light-hearted and popcorny that you're like, oh, actually, the art in this book is very competent. The writing and the pacing of it seem fine. Again, it's because that's probably due to it being based on a light novel. And I don't really have a lot to say about it. It's not really a book with themes. It's not really a book that is doing more than just like, hey, we're going to have a rip-roaring good battle royale. And it kind of feels like the equivalent of playing a match of Fortnite. Am I ever going to feature Juni Taisen Zodiac Wars on the podcast? Probably not. Am I ever going to really think about this book again after I have posted this video? Maybe. Maybe I'll just be like, oh, if you want a dumb battle manga, go read this one. But it's not something I'm going to seek out the other volumes of. It's not something that I'm immediately like, oh, this wasn't for me. I just think it was a damn good time, and sometimes, you know, on a Saturday night especially, that is what you need. So that has been Juni Taisen Zodiac Wars. I will reach into the pile of books that I got from Vinted off camera and grab what I'll probably talk about tomorrow, which is, I believe, another shoujo, but it's love, so it could also be BL. A book called The Prince is in the Villainess's Way. Know nothing about it. Again, I've been reading a couple of Tokyo Pop books recently from this haul, so we will find out together what it is. Again, I imagine probably shoujo, but yes, Fiona, okay. I thought there might be a gender swap thing going on because it is a love title, but there's not. Anyways, I will talk about that book tomorrow. If you have read Zodiac Wars, or if you've watched the anime and you actually think it's decent, then let me know. But otherwise, I will see you tomorrow for some shoujo that hopefully will go down better for me than Like a Butterfly. Till then though, folks, be sure, as always, to read on. Take care. Bye-bye.